Have you ever been worried about meeting the time and budget commitments that you've made on your project or maybe portfolio of projects? If you have, then I fully get it. I've been there. I've been a project manager for a large portfolio of projects, and you do the best that you can. You create a plan, you put in the time estimates that all the resources has given you, you allocate your resources, but you also know that there's variability in how long it actually takes to do tasks. There's uncertainty, sometimes even not just about the sequence of those tasks, but maybe how many tasks there will be. And of course, there's unplanned events. Is there any solution out there that you could use to get confidence in the time and budget commitments that you've made? Well, if you are facing this challenge, I might have some really good news for you. Over the past few years, we've been developing a new technology called a Project Portfolio Digital Twin. And what this does is it combines the most advanced technology that we have available for doing simulation models, doing optimization, and having access to a library of best practices. And on top of that, the technology is really simple to use. So this is it at the moment. You'll see the screen share. I'm going to select the mode at which I want to run. I just want to show you a quick demo. The software works in just 5 simple steps. You upload the data. So just imagine an export from your project management system showing the full work breakdown structure of the project, the resource allocations, the time estimates. On top of that, the expected level of variability in terms of task duration and any unplanned events. As I click on this load the data, essentially what it's doing now is within a few seconds build a complete digital twin of your environment. In step two, we can actually see the data that has been uploaded. You can see here there's 10 projects with 40 phases. They are all starting on the 4th of January, finishing on the 4th of May. And these projects are all starting at the same time, 10 projects. These are condo projects. They are expected to deliver a net profit of $312,000. And this shows you the resources. The average resource utilization is showing pretty low. The highest one is the walling contractors at about 60%. And the question is, can we meet these time and budget commitments? The time commitment is 120 days for every project, 10 projects in a portfolio with a profit of 312,000. So we're going to go to step three now, where essentially we can set up the scenarios that we want to run. We can run a single scenario just to say, as it's planned, with allocating 2 projects per team, so there's going to be some multitasking, let's run that. But we can also add some additional scenarios. Scenario 2, what if we stop the multitasking? Scenario 3, what if we planned with a critical chain schedule that considers the capacity constraint? And what if we then also allow additional resources to be used? So let's go into step 4, which is actually running the simulation model. And we can run it in 2 situations. Perfect world, where the planned durations are always achieved, so the only reason for delay would be capacity problems. And in real world, where there's variability in task durations, you're looking at a fever chart, which is essentially showing you on the vertical axis the percentage of the buffer that you're consuming versus the progress that you're making. Red means the projects are in trouble. You can see they were all in trouble very early on. Gray means they're already late. And we can see it from the numbers here. Rather than taking on average 120 days per project, it's taken 227 days for project 271 to complete the portfolio. That is the answer to the question. Whatever you did in your planning, you didn't fully consider the variability and the capacity constraints, and as a result, you'll probably end up being not just late and over budget, but substantially late. And let's look at the budget, the financials. We were hoping to make $300,000 profit. We're going to incur massive losses because the time was almost double. Most of our costs are fixed, and there were some penalties for late delivery. Now the question is, could we do better? And this is now where the second part of this value of the simulation comes from, is we can quickly change the rules here. I've already set up those rules. So scenario 2, and we'll see it, look at again in the fever chart. You can immediately see just by changing the rules so we don't multitask, there's a lot of projects that now will be on time. Still some late, but they won't be that late. So we've gone from 227 down to 128 days. And then with some additional clever algorithms, we can get to 127 and even down to 92 days, where we planned 120 days. Now, you can imagine if you were running this projects, you were constantly doing 10 condo projects at a time, and typically your results are over 200 days. At some point, you'll feel pressure to start planning and making commitments on 200 days, never knowing that it was actually possible to achieve less than 100 days with some clever rules, and that's one of the benefits. Now, what about the financials? You can see here our best result was getting very close to the 300,000 profit, around 240,000. So that is the kind of excitement of this new technology. It's called a project portfolio digital twin. It essentially allows us to combine the power of optimization engines to find what's the best possible plans with simulation, simulating the execution of those plans, not just to see which one will give you the best planned duration and cost, but in real world conditions with variability and unplanned events. And then on top of that, combining it with a library of best practices. So you as the user can just click on a button and say, what if we try to do it this way rather than that way? If you have any questions or you'd like to see this applied to your environment, you're welcome to click on the button below where you can contact us to organize a quick demo, and we're looking forward to hearing from you.